It was sunny day. I was wondering about what to do, and there I saw something shining in my Epic Games library. It was nothing like I have seen before. It was different. We were meant for each other. I imagined our future together. Everything was perfect. Let me tell you that I stepped upon it randomly in my library, but this random step was worthy. Let's take a look why it was worthy and why should we get a sequel. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy is a linear third-person story-driven shooter with some possibilities to explore hidden passages and secrets. It was developed by Eidos Montreal and published by Square Enix in 2021. By the way, it managed to win the Game Awards for the best narrative in the same year. Story is a strong factor in this game. Like I mentioned literally 5 seconds ago, Guardians of the Galaxy managed to win the Game Award for the best narrative. It definitely speaks about the quality of the game. The narrative here is on another level. It is emotional, but also funny at the same time. Developers managed to find the right balance between these two sides. What I really like is the development of relationships between main characters. At the start, they quite hate each other, but when you dive more and more into the story, they will get along themselves better and better. What is more, is that you will be able to learn more about the character's backstory through collectibles, but more about it later. What is another huge plus is that it is really hard to experience some quiet moment in this game. There is always some kind of dialogue between the characters and that's great. These spontaneous dialogues are an effective way of keeping game fresh. They are also interactive, so when you, for example, try to explore some passage of the level to find secrets, the rest of the team will make fun of you. These jokes aren't bad at all, and they can be quite funny, and exploration can turn into funny experience quite quickly. Here is some example.
Fortress is this way, Peter Quill.
I know, I'm just doing some exploring.
Ain't we done enough of that already?
I'm pretty sure exploring is code. It means he went the wrong way, but is too stubborn to admit it.
In that case, Quill,
Moreover, it is possible to react to dialogues by 3 different options. What you choose will determine the rest of it. Some dialogues will even change something in the future and thus giving player feel to actually impact the story. But I can't only praise this game because there are some minor holes and scratches. Those are mostly some illogical sequences. In the beginning of the one chapter, I crashed with the ship, but at the end of the chapter, ship was like new and ready to use again. I didn't know if I missed something, but it was weird a little bit. However, this is only a small issue and it doesn't ruin the story of the game. It only makes you wonder what the hell happened. So, the story begins with a flashback of Peter's youth. After that, Guardians enter quarantine zone because they need to hunt for the money. However, Guardians didn't manage to capture it because it is killed by some unknown creature. Your only chance is to run away. But when you leave quarantine zone, you get fined by Nova Corps because of the illegal enter into the zone. And that's all for the beginning of the story. Gameplay of the Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. The length of this in the game's name is killing me, so I will refer to it as Guardians from now. So, Guardians' gameplay is another part, which is done almost flawlessly. In this game, there is one player character, and that is
Peter Jason Quill,
aka Star-Lord. There are also 4 semi-playable characters. Wait. Semi-playable? Does this word even exist? Okay, so I didn't find the proof of existence of the word semi-playable, but I found the origin of the word fuck.
Excellent word, Peter.
But no worries, I'm going to explain how I mean it. So, you can control abilities of these characters in combat and you can use them to solve puzzles, but you can't control them directly. These characters are Rocket, Drax, Gamora and Groot. Basically, the rest of original Guardians crew. You can only play as Star-Lord, but this is not bad. Developers managed to make it almost perfect. Each of the members is useful. For example, Gamora has sharp sword, so she can cut her way forward. Drax is really strong and he can, let's say, create some new ways for team to continue and so on. Chemistry of the team not only in exploration but also in combat is wonderful. These guys can put hell of a fight. What is more, throughout the fights you will fill up your huddle up meter. After filling up your meter, you can huddle up your team. During this procession, Your team will say something and you need to react accordingly to what they are saying. If you choose the right answer, the entire team will get boost and unlimited usage of abilities for a short period of time. If you choose the wrong one, don't worry, only Peter will receive the boost. But this isn't the best thing about the Huddle Up feature. When you use it, one of the legendary songs from Peter's playlist will be playing in background, like the Final Countdown from Europe, or gotcha. But anyway, this creates a great atmosphere and I enjoy this ability so much. Plus, when game recalls you and you enjoyed it, it is definitely a great feature. Furthermore, each of the characters, doesn't matter if it's playable or semi-playable or I don't know how playable, have 3 abilities and 1 special ability. These abilities are great and useful. Normal abilities can be upgraded by skill points, which you can get by successfully killing enemies during encounters. Special abilities are unlocked throughout the game. However, I didn't use all of the abilities. I found 1, max 2, which suited me or the situation the most and stick to them. By the way, this is Rocket's special ability. As you can see, combat of Guardians can get really messy in a short while. It seems confusing and sometimes it is, but most of the time you will know perfectly what is happening and you can react accordingly to it. Star-Lord, only playable character, has not only these 4 abilities like the rest of the team, he has also elemental blasters. He can shoot normally or switch to 4 different elementary modes ranging from icy to fire one. You will unlock them by progressing the game. They are great and quite useful, because certain enemies are weaker to certain elementary modes, which adds variety to combat. What is more, Star-Lord can also be upgraded on Workbench. There are 15 upgrades in total, but I didn't find all of them useful. If you want to make these upgrades, you need to find parts which are scattered and hidden all around the missions. Even though you receive teasing comments from the rest of the team, it is a great way to motivate players to explore the game and do not only rush it. I am not sponsored, but if you could please write down in the comments what should I improve in the future and your opinion about my videos in general. If you enjoy my content, please consider hitting the like and subscribe. That's all for now. Let's go back to the review. Gameworld is beautiful. Missions are vibrant and unique. There aren't 2 exact same locations. Each of the chapter is set in a different location, and this is marvelous. What is more, all the locations looks great and you will end up in places that are well known to Marvel or Guardians of the Galaxy fans, like Nowhere, Noah Core Base, and so on. Now let's go back to the collectibles, which I have mentioned the story chapter. When you find some collectible, which is hidden mostly in some random dead end, you will be able to have a special dialogue on your ship called Milano with your teammates. For example, I found Assassin's Ring and it unlocked me 2 special dialogues with Gamora. You can enter these dialogues by going to rooms of your crewmates and interacting with the objects which you have previously found. When I found this out, I was really delighted and surprised at the same time. This is the best way to motivate player to go on collectible hunting I have ever experienced. But there aren't only these collectibles, there are also skins for main characters. It is not anything game breaking or massive, but it is good to have it in here. Just look at this rocket. Like I mentioned in previous chapter, graphics is great. The world is amazing, vibrant, and each level is different. You can also say this about audio. It is flawless and I have not experienced any problems with this side of the game. However, I can't quite say this about optimization and bugs. Don't get me wrong, this game is optimized well, but during beginning of the cutscenes, it is easy to lose some FPS. I have also experienced this during gameplay, but not that often. But this isn't the worst thing that happened to me. During the first playthrough, game crashed 4 times, and during playing New Game Plus mode, it also crashed many times. On the top of that, there are bugs, and some of them are fixable only by restarting the game because they won't let you continue the story. On the other hand, there are not many of these game-breaking bugs. During playthrough of New Game Plus, I have experienced only 2 or 3 of them, and during my first playthrough, I found 1 or 2 of them. But it was extremely annoying and sometimes it drove me mad, so it is definitely noticeable and keep that in mind. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy is a great game, which I have really enjoyed. It was gripping. I can say I couldn't wait to play it. Story is amazing. This can be said about gameplay, exploration, and so on. Game doesn't take itself very seriously, but there are also some serious and emotional moments. Developers managed to find a balance between these two sides. Together, this creates flarkingly awesome game. Only shame is the technical condition of the game. I can't overlook this aspect, and because of it, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy receives flarking 9 out of 10. If there weren't these mistakes, the game could easily get 10 out of 10, but it is how it is. To be honest, this game definitely deserves a sequel, and I hope they are working on it. It would be such a shame if they didn't use the potential which this universe has. The game is wonderful, and there are only optimization problems, but to be honest, for me, I can live with that. What is more, this game was successful, unlike Marvel's Avengers, and it was well received. It has 94% on Steam. What is more, Marvel has also released another Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and Guardians are becoming more and more popular in the MCU. I think it would be shame not to make another game about Guardians. But what do you think? Should they make a sequel? And if they do, what should it be about? Write it down in the comments. For now, I hope you have enjoyed my video. Please consider hitting the like and subscribe button, and don't forget to get the hell out of here.